Hi, I'm Barb, Maple PhD, and my favorite play for November 2025 is Vantage. This is a story-driven game where you are playing cooperatively in order to achieve a goal. The goal changes not only from game to game, there's kind of an overarching goal that you'll set up at the beginning of the game, but also you can accumulate different goals throughout the game, and those might win you the game as well. So the premise here is that everyone who's playing is a crew on a starship that is on a mission, but it ends up crash landing. And during that process, everyone gets into their escape pods and ends up scattered across the surface of the planet. You don't necessarily know where your fellow players are, your fellow crewmates, but you have headsets so you can talk to each other, but you can't see where each other is. So everyone has a card that has a Vantage on it, a viewpoint of what they're seeing, and it'll have some actions on the side that you're able to take. On your card, on your turn, you're going to choose one of the actions to do on the card. And most cards, you can only do one single action, and then you have to move to a different location from that card. And so, the different things can be like help or attack or ask or communicate. There a set number of these. You'll pick one. You'll have a skills challenge that you have to do. You always succeed the challenge, but you may end up taking some setbacks because of it. And then you get something or do something or something happens as a result of this. But throughout the game, you're going to be collecting various things, hopefully. We actually first played this at the Dice Tower Retreat in September, and my spouse and I had very different experiences. I was running around, I got a fire tattoo, I collected some followers and some items and things. He ended up kind of bumbling around the desert, getting heat stroke the entire time and didn't get to collect anything. And I was afraid maybe he didn't have a great time with the game and maybe wouldn't want to play it again. Fortunately, he kind of saw what I was doing and that, he could have a very different experience. And we picked this up, and since then we've both had very good experiences with our games. We haven't actually won yet, but we came very close in one game and then had an abysmal skills check right before we were about to win. But we were still very satisfied with our experience and all of the things we got to see on this planet. There are a bajillion cards in the box. So, this is a game that's maybe not infinitely replayable, but very replayable. You're going to have a different experience and see very different things each time you play the game. You start in different locations. You have different characters that have different strengths. On each card, you've got like 6 different options of actions that you can take. So even if you've been to a location, you might take a different action on a different, time that you visit there. And so there's just a lot of branching that can happen in this game. And I can see us playing this again and again and coming back to it and, seeing where our characters take us. So that's my pick for November, Vantage. If you want to see more of me, you can go find me on YouTube as Meeple PhD. I'm also on Instagram and Blue Sky, and I have a blog at meeplephd.com. We'll see you next time.